stop what you're doing. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't just another celebrity headline. This is heartbreak, betrayal, and tragedy rolled into one. Imagine being a woman who has already survived years of public humiliation, standing in courtrooms with the whole world judging her, smiling on stage while crying behind closed doors. Now picture her stepping out once again, clutching her stomach, trying to hide what millions of eyes can already see, a baby bump that tells a story of chaos, loneliness, and pain. That woman is Cardi B. She thought she found freedom after walking away from Offset's endless betrayals. She thought she was finally choosing herself. But instead, she stepped into another storm with Stefon Diggs, a man already tied to multiple women, already drowning in baby mama drama, already accused of lies and double lives. And now, instead of peace, Cardi finds herself mocked, humiliated, and dragged by those same women. Women who know her pain because they've lived it, yet still throw stones at her when she's most vulnerable. The cameras caught it all. Her swollen eyes, her trembling walk, her attempt to hold it together. But behind those lenses lies a broken truth. A superstar, pregnant and alone, while the father of her child entertains others and her ex-husband leaks her secrets just to watch her fall. This isn't just gossip. This is the sound of a woman's heart shattering in front of millions. This is betrayal disguised as love, promises turned to ashes, and the cruel reminder that fame can't protect you from heartbreak. And if you think this story ends here, you're wrong. The pain is only beginning. They said fame would protect her. They said success would shield her. But tonight, we are watching a woman break in slow motion. Cardi B, the same girl who once danced her way out of poverty, who turned pain into power, who fought for respect in a world that never wanted to give her any, is now standing at the center of another storm. And this storm feels different. Darker, heavier, and unbearably cruel. The cameras caught her walking out of court, draped in baggy clothes, head lowered, steps heavy. And yet no baggy suit could hide the truth swelling beneath, the truth of a child, the promise of new life, wrapped inside a womb that has known more tears than joy. Fans whispered, "Is she pregnant again?" But this wasn't excitement. This was fear. Because behind those whispers, everyone knew who the father was. Stefon Diggs, a man with too many promises, too many secrets, and too many baby mamas. And just like that, the mocking began. Lord Giselle, one of Stefon's exes and the mother of his child, didn't just shade Cardi. She humiliated her. On live, on social media, in front of millions, she laughed at Cardi's pain. She called out Stefon's infidelity, called out the cycle of lies, called out the heartbreak that would inevitably come. And the internet didn't just watch. It piled on. Meme after meme, comment after comment, thousands of strangers finding entertainment in a woman's private despair. But the dagger didn't stop there. Offset, the man who vowed forever to her, the man who gave her 2 children, the man who publicly tore her apart with betrayal after betrayal, saw her pain and poured gasoline on the fire. He leaked her secrets. He ran to bloggers. He whispered to the world, "Look at her. She's broken again." He wasn't protecting the mother of his children. He was destroying her, one headline at a time. Imagine the weight on her shoulders. A mother trying to shield her kids from the noise. A woman trying to rebuild herself after years of public humiliation, and now once again, dragged through the mud. She isn't just pregnant. She's pregnant in a storm of betrayal, mockery, and loneliness. And yet, through swollen eyes and trembling steps, she walks. She shows up. She tries to smile, even when the world throws daggers. But behind closed doors, the tears don't stop. The questions don't stop. Why me? Why now? Why can't I ever find peace? This is not just gossip. This is tragedy. This is the sound of a woman crying when the cameras turn off. This is the story of a superstar who gave the world everything, her music, her laughter, her soul, and in return, the world gives her only judgment, betrayal, and pain. And if you think the humiliation ends here, it doesn't. The heartbreak is only beginning. They say betrayal hurts most when it comes from the people closest to you. And for Cardi B, that betrayal has turned into a living nightmare. As if the world mocking her wasn't enough, the father of her children, Offset, made sure her pain became public property. When the first rumors broke of Cardi's pregnancy with Stefon Diggs, fans wondered if it was true. But instead of silence, instead of dignity, Offset himself fanned the flames. He leaked messages, whispered to bloggers, and handed over the kind of receipts that no woman wants the world to see. And what was the goal? To protect his children's mother? No, to destroy her. To make sure everyone saw Cardi not as a strong woman, not as a mother, not as a survivor, but as someone broken, reckless, and alone. And yet behind his cruelty was something even sadder: desperation. Because while Offset was publicly mocking, Cardi, behind closed doors, he was still begging for her love. Messages filled her phone. I miss you. I want you. I need you. The same man who humiliated her was also crying out for her. And if you think that contradiction didn't crush her even more, you'd be wrong. How do you heal when the person tearing you apart is also the one who claims he can't live without you? Meanwhile, Stefon Diggs wasn't the savior Cardi thought he would be. While she carried his child, pictures and screenshots of him with other women flooded the internet. Sky, another woman in his orbit, dropped photos, dropped texts, dropped evidence that while Cardi was fighting for dignity, Stefon was out chasing thrills. And what did those texts reveal? A man furious at being exposed. Not sorry, not loyal, not protective. Furious. Furious that his double life had slipped through his fingers. And so the cycle repeated. A woman mocked by strangers, betrayed by her past and abandoned by her present. And as the noise grew louder, the comments became crueler. People didn't see a pregnant woman struggling under the weight of humiliation. They saw content. They saw drama. They saw entertainment. But behind the viral posts, behind the trending hashtags, there was a woman crying in silence. A mother terrified of what her children would one day read. A superstar asking herself how many times she has to break before she's finally allowed to heal. This isn't just about Cardi B. This is about every woman who has loved too hard, forgiven too often, and paid the price with pieces of her soul. And the tragedy is, the more she hurts, the more the world watches. Because in this game of fame, her tears are their headlines, her heartbreak is their entertainment, her tragedy is their gossip. And yet, the story is far from over. The next chapter is darker, heavier, and even more humiliating. Because the very people who should have protected her are about to expose her in ways she never imagined. Sometimes the cruelest part of a story isn't the betrayal itself, it's the silence that follows. For Cardi B, silence has become the loudest scream. She walks through flashing cameras, through millions of eyes dissecting her every move, but the truth is, she has never felt more alone. The world saw the headlines, Stefon Diggs caught with another woman. Offset leaks, Cardi's secrets again. Baby mama drama explodes. But what the world didn't see was the aftermath. Cardi, alone in her home, curtains drawn, phone buzzing with notifications she couldn't bear to read. Every comment felt like a dagger. Every meme was another reminder that her pain was entertainment. Tortify. Giselle kept mocking her, calling her foolish, calling her naive. That's just her baby daddy, Giselle sneered, laughing as if Cardi's pregnancy was a punchline. And the internet laughed with her. But behind the laughter was something far darker. A woman crumbling under the weight of humiliation. Then came Offset. As if leaking her private life wasn't enough, he jumped into comment sections, into live streams, into TikToks, throwing shade at every chance. And yet, the irony? In the middle of all this chaos, he was still texting her, begging for her attention, craving the very love he had destroyed. The contradiction was unbearable. To the world, he was the villain. To Cardi, he was the ghost of a love she once thought would last forever. And Stefon? He had already moved on to the next. More screenshots, more receipts, more women stepping forward to say, he was with me too. The man who was supposed to be her escape had turned into another cage, another heartbreak, another betrayal, Another reason to cry herself to sleep. To sleep. Now, imagine this. A mother, carrying life inside her, forced to watch her own story spiral out of control. Forced to hear strangers call her names, mock her choices, laugh at her tears. Forced to relive the betrayal every single day as blogs. And gossip pages picked her pain apart piece by piece. She once told the world she never wanted her children to grow up in pain, never wanted them to see her broken. But now her unborn child is already part of a storm created not by love, but by betrayal, jealousy, and cruelty. This isn't just a scandal, it's tragedy. A woman who gave her all to love, who sacrificed, who forgave, who tried to rebuild, now left shattered yet again. And the cruelest part? The story isn't over. The gossip will continue, the shade will continue, the betrayal will continue. But one thing is certain, behind the headlines, behind the laughter, behind the chaos, Cardi B is still a woman, a mother, a human being whose heart has been broken too many times. And if this is what fame looks like, then maybe fame is nothing more than a beautiful mask hiding the ugliest pain. And now, after everything we've uncovered, I want you to take a moment and let this sink in. This isn't just a gossip headline. This isn't just another messy celebrity scandal. What we are watching unfold before our very eyes is the slow destruction of a woman who once gave us her heart, her voice, her music, and her truth. Cardi B is not just a superstar. She's a mother, she's a fighter, she's a human being. And yet, what has the world given her in return? Betrayal, humiliation, endless pain dressed up as entertainment. From Offset's cruel sabotage to Stefon's reckless betrayal, to Giselle's public mockery, and the internet's relentless judgment, Cardi has been left standing in a storm with no one to shield her, no one to protect her. But here's where you come in. Because this isn't just her story anymore. This is our story. A story about how we, as a society, consume pain like popcorn, scroll past heartbreak like memes, and laugh at the very tears that should make us stop and think. How many more times do we need to see women broken before we say, enough is enough? When you look at Cardi now, carrying a child while the world tears her apart, ask yourself, what if it was your sister? Your mother? Your daughter? Would you laugh at her? Would you mock her? Or would you stand up, raise your voice, and demand that she be treated with dignity? Because let's be real, Offset's petty games, Stefon's lies, Giselle's taunts, they're not just attacks on Cardi. They're attacks on every woman who has ever been betrayed, every mother who has ever cried alone in silence, every soul who has ever been mocked for simply trying to love. And if you feel this pain, if you feel this rage, then don't just sit there quietly. Speak up. Share this. Comment your truth. Flood the timeline with your voice because Cardi's story isn't over. And your voice could be the reason the world finally listens. This is bigger than celebrity drama. This is bigger than one messy scandal. This is about truth, about pain, about the cost of betrayal in a world that refuses to care until it's too late. And right now, Cardi needs more than just gossip. She needs a movement. She needs people to remind her that she is not alone, that she is not just a headline, that she is more than the lies and more than the laughter. So here's my call to you. Don't just watch, react. Don't just cry, act. Don't just shake your head, speak. Because silence is what allows this cycle to continue. Silence is what lets men like Offset and Stefon play their games without consequence. Silence is what makes women like Cardi carry the burden alone. And I promise you this, if we don't stand up now, the story will only get darker. The betrayals deeper. The pain sharper. Don't wait until it's too late, until another woman breaks, until another headline turns into tragedy. Drop your thoughts below. Share this video. Let the world know you see the truth. Let the world know you refuse to stay silent. And most importantly, let Cardi, and every woman watching, know that she is not alone in this fight. Because at the end of the day, fame will fade, headlines will change, but one thing will remain forever: the way we chose to respond to pain. Did we laugh, or did we stand up and fight? The choice is yours. The time is now.